Hi guys, and welcome back. Sorry, I made a video in weeks. I've had a few family commitments to deal with. Everything's good, and work's been absolutely bonkers. So no video uploads of recent, but hopefully some few more coming now in the GT cars. This was actually my second day driving the GT3's, low split, obviously. I think I had about 1,000 I rating in sports car category. So yeah, managed to get pole on this race somehow. So it was definitely low split because I got pole. So rolling start, managed to get away quite decently. Got the fire breathing Mustang behind me. That thing is so quick in a straight line. It's absolutely bonkers. And the McLaren behind him in third. So just trying to take it a little bit easy this first couple of laps with cold tyres, and yeah, so as you can tell by some of the lines I'm picking, I wasn't very good at this. As I said, this is my second day driving the GT3 cars, and as I've got the Mustang right up my chuff already. He actually bumped me about 3 times there. I could tell just the way he was driving, he was definitely going to be faster than me, but I figured we're on cold tyres, we'll just take it easy for the first couple of laps and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, so the reason I moved over to the GT3 cars is I had a go at the GT4s with an old Cayman that I'd bought. Actually, never actually raced it, actually really enjoyed it. However, anyone who's done any time in GT4 cars will know the absolute carnage that goes on in there at the D-Class license level. So you either find yourself, unless you get on the front row, it's best to almost start at the back, because the carnage that unfolds with between like 25 and 30 cars on the grid, it's just absolute mayhem. So I did a bit of safe driving, got my B license, and moved up to the GT3s instead. And I must say, the quality of driving is vastly better. Yes, things still happen, but it's a lot better than the GT4s. The GT4s is absolutely bonkers. I don't think I'll ever go back to it now. So anyway, onto this front straight again, and that Mustang is proving just how much faster he is than me. I jump on the brakes and he comes flying by me. My driving is actually all over the place. I'm not trailing it off properly into that first corner. I'm doing all the braking down into first gear and then turning in, as opposed to turning in with the brakes trailing off in second and then hitting first to fire yourself back out of the corner. Mustang here moves to the inside of the corner to defend, because I think he thinks I'm going to try and slip up the inside. That was actually, at the time, that was the line I was taking. I was actually going to the inside of, I think it's turn 5 or 6. I looked on a track guide, that's what they did, so of course I just followed that. Of course now I know that's just definitely not the fastest line there. Of course you take it wide. But again, lots to be learned in these GT3 cars. One of the biggest ones I was unaware of until I literally entered my first race was all of the driving aids are off. All of them. I didn't know that. So my first race, I decided I'd start in the pits and just take it easy, get used to being around the cars and track. I've done some practice laps, but of course there's practice laps and there's being in a race. So I normally have like auto pit limiter on. Of course, the race started, I spun the car up and immediately got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pits. And then the next thing I noticed is that, to my embarrassment, the driving line wasn't on. Now, I always used to race with the driving line on, not because I necessarily needed it, but it's just another point of reference to use. It doesn't change. So it's just another point of reference in learning a track and using braking markers, especially on tracks where there are no braking markers. It's actually quite a handy little tool to use, despite everyone claiming that they never use it. A lot of people just turn it off in their replays. I certainly used to. But of course, in the GT3's, there is no driving line, so you have to learn the track absolutely very, very in depth. Otherwise, you'll never lap anything decently at all. But that's all part of the learning curve. In the GT3's, it's to be able to do well. It's quite a steep learning curve, but it's really enjoyable. It's really rewarding. I chose to drive the Porsche 911 simply because I like 911s, and I'm actually really enjoying the car. It really fires you out of the corners really well. The rear end grip is absolutely fantastic. It can understeer a bit, but you can counter that quite nicely with just, you know, sort of 5% on your brakes, just to help the weight transfer a little bit, and obviously doing some proper trail braking, not like what I'm doing here, and that is why I've got this McLaren absolutely right behind me. So I do actually manage to get some power down now and get away from the McLaren, but this Mustang is 2 seconds ahead of me, pretty much stays 2 seconds ahead of me for the whole race. As you can see, we're lapping at about 1 minute 8, which if I was doing that race today, I would say it's not anywhere close to fast enough. You know, after a few days of learning the GT3 911, I like my lap times here at Summit Point to be down in the sort of mid 107s consistently. Will genuinely get you a decent result. Yeah, of course, there always are those guys who can hit the 106.9s, and if you have a look at the high split stuff, people are hitting 105.6s. It's some seriously good driving going on in those higher splits, but the progression's been coming along really nicely. Very much enjoyed it. So yeah, this is probably what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future of the GT3s. I'm not decided entirely what class I'm going to focus on, or if I'm even going to focus on a certain class, as opposed to, you know, the Europe, the Asia, or the Americas series. I may just sort of pick and choose, but I haven't fully decided yet. I'm probably leaning towards the Americas, but I'm going to wait for the next season to start to decide what one I'm really going to maybe concentrate on. For the time being, I'm just happy learning the car. It's been yeah, it's been quite the learning experience, but a lot of fun. Had some really good races. I did have back-to-back wins yesterday on Saturday. So when I took this video, would have been on the Wednesday. I would have made this video, and by the Saturday, I was a lot more consistently getting podiums. My I rating actually moved quite a bit. Still low in the grand scheme of things, but it moved from, I think, around about 1,000 to, I think, about 1,700. So I gained about 700 I rating quite quickly, which is really nice. So yeah, just edited this big chunk of the race out, because as you can see, it's me still sat in second place. The Mustang, now we're moving past the back markers. Back marker does try to get out of the way, although I slowed down too much. He almost actually plows in the back of me. I did thank him for getting out of the way. I think he expected me to be faster than what I was. He's probably just better at me at that corner. And I was hoping this next back marker might get in the way of this Mustang, but he only got in the way of me. But that is, again, yeah, but it didn't matter anyway, because I took that corner so wrong. I was never going to catch the Mustang. Had I been racing with what I know now, then I probably could have won this race. But it's good fun to look back at some of the races where you were not as experienced, just to see those mistakes. Yeah, see them Ferrari here. He slows down so much because he's trying to get out of the way. But that was the end of the race. Me and the guy who won it, and myself, we spoke what a really fun race it was, and good competing with each other. So yeah, hopefully I have more of these in the future for you guys, for my whole 3 subscribers I've got. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.